So we're going to go ahead and mute the line. Thank you, everyone, for coming on the webinar today. I got a great turnout. Got some special guests coming on here. Just to go through, Krista, you're on the line?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Deb Pazzo?
Yes, I'm here, Art.
And Yvonne and Eva Marie are there?
Yes, we are.
Okay, great. Okay, so welcome everybody to our webinar today. Yes, very exciting. Lots of announcements to take. That's a new picture of Terry and I at the top there. And with the founders on the stage there, it looks like there's nobody but founders and us. And somehow we always get separated there. I don't know why. We're supposed to be together. And I just wanted to know, for you who've been following my webinars over the years, I want to show you quickly here what happens when it starts to get warm this time of year. That's what I look like when it really starts to warm up. As you notice here, I still have my slippers on, even when my shorts are on. So that's to keep my feet nice and cozy on the deck. But that's what I look like when I'm working, when it's hot out. So I thought you'd get a kick out of that. Terry, we had an incredible event in Las Vegas. No question about it. Why don't you give us your feeling and thoughts on it, and then we'll bring some of our other guests on.
Well, you know, you guys, Art and I have been involved for it's going to be 6 years this June, and I was just amazed this year. I was truly amazed. I mean, not only did all the speakers do a wonderful job, but Joe Morton and, of course, Aaron Garrity, I mean, they can really touch your heart. I mean, they just always have such inspiration and such knowledge to tell us of how to move forward with our Zango business or in our life personally. And so they were amazing. But the thing that really caught me throughout the whole weekend was to watch all of the leaders pull together and unite as one. I've never seen this happen, you guys, in network marketing. And so this event really made us united and really pulled us together, and that was so very exciting. So that is my pearl that I took away, besides all the other exciting news.
Well, yeah, we're going to be talking about this a bit longer and get some feedback from some of the other leaders. But like I have been telling people, I mean, the Sunday day after event with Exco Pro just knocked it out of the park. And of course, Zango did its usual wonderful presentations, inspiration, and everything on the Saturday. But I think we were all stunned at how well that event came together. Saw all those leaders in there giving their 6-minute billion-dollar basics presentations. It was timely. It was fast. We'll be talking a bit more about that later, and I believe that was recorded. So first of all, let's bring our first guest on here. Got a kind of a little bit of a fuzzy picture. That's the one that we got from our 20K dinner, I think. Krista Gustafson, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
How's it going this morning?
Going great. There's a beach in my house today.
Yeah, I heard the 3 little girls of yours have created a beach in your house.
I must be getting ready for Hawaii.
Yes, and you are going to Hawaii. What do you think about that?
Oh, I'm just so excited. I've been dreaming about this for over 3 years, going to Hawaii. So.
Yeah, the Elevation Retreat is coming up at the Turtle Bay Resort, and we have this incredible 1,700 square foot villa with wood floors and right on the beach. It's going to be fantastic. Krista, so what did you think? What was your takeaways from Las Vegas?
You know, Zango always exceeds my expectations. With each event I've been to, and I've been to most of the regionals and the conventions, I'm always just blown away because they're always just thinking so far ahead. And, you know, whatever we think they haven't thought of, like, they have thought of it. Trust me, they are so far ahead of us. I was just amazed by the entire weekend from start to finish. But, of course, the biggest impact for me was the Sunday training. It was just, in my experience, like nothing we have seen or been to. And the way that John put this system into place where each leader spoke for 6 minutes. How many? There was like 30, I think, 30 of you?
34, I think, yeah.
And 6 minutes, just, you know, it was brilliant. I mean, it kept us so focused on what each leader was saying. Where normally, you know, you could tend to lose focus after 8 minutes or so, and your mind kind of wanders in and out. I just stayed so focused through the entire event, and I just thought it was amazing. There were so many nuts and bolts for everyone at every rank.
Yeah, everybody had their own specific topic.
Yep.
And just rambled on through it. Lots of people taking great notes. There was also a limited edition product release picture. I've got a picture of Krista here standing next to the pericarp oil, and I also at the slot machine. You make any money on the slots, Krista?
You know, I got a picture because I was like pretending.
Yeah.
I watched someone else lose their money and within 60 seconds, and I said, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
People really sit here and will just like waste their money. I just couldn't justify it, but you know, I had to get a picture.
Yeah. Well, you have to get a picture. And so this is the pericarp oil, and Terry's going to jump on here. You can see the display here. And actually, I've got a great picture on this. And I know the other guests that are coming on here may want to make some comments on this as well. But you had the picture. There's what it looks like. Great shot there of the pericarp oil. And Terry, I know you've been working with it actually longer than probably just about anybody else. We got some pericarp oil, way last year before the Glimpse formulas were actually prepared.
Yeah, this was actually, you guys, our first product that Beverly wanted us to try out. And so I have been on it all these months, and I have the big confession, which Art knows, but the confession is every time we got a bottle, I would let Art use a few drops, and then I ended up taking his bottle. And so we only got little tiny bottles. We never got bottles this big, you guys.
She stole my oil.
I stole his oil. I just love the oil, and I've been working on it. When I first went to Beverly Hollister and we got the oil, I showed her that I had 3 moles kind of on my chest here. And so I was working on them, but I always wondered when we'd not get any more oil. And so I would work on one, and then I'd work on the other. And the first one went away like in the first week. I was really surprised. The second one went away, but I was only applying it once a day, and this is very strong. It's very potent, and so you don't need very much. So if you have any something that you really need to work on, for instance, I got a paper cut on my lip, and I put that on 2 nights in a row, and it was gone. And I was telling Art in Las Vegas, I got a hangnail that I had pulled off, and I don't know, I ripped the whole side of the skin. It was a baby finger, and it really got inflamed. I put that on twice, you guys, and it healed it up totally. I mean, this stuff is amazing. So there's so many different ways you can use it. The other thing, I was talking to Dr. Templeman. I was eavesdropping while he was talking to someone, and he was talking about a person that had really big throat issues, and they were applying it on their throat and ended up healing their throats from drinking the juice from the inside out, remember, and now the outside in. The other thing, too, is he also talked to some of the gals there about thyroid, and that this will really help the thyroid, help rebalance. Remember, this is what these great products that are doing, is they're rebalancing your body. And so those of you that have thyroid problem, I'm actually going to put it, I've been putting it on for over a week now, twice a day, morning and night, on the thyroid, because I've always wondered if I have a thyroid problem. Never really knew. But so I'm trying that out, so I'll keep you posted on that. So there's many great things. Anything with psoriasis, eczema, anything that is burning, inflamed, it does an amazing job. So I think just kind of play with it. For those of you that were fortunate enough to either go or order some oil, it's just use it for all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, of course, it's a limited edition. It was only available at Las Vegas, but to give you a clue, if you want to see this as a product, ask when you call into order line or customer service, hey, when are you going to get some of that oil? I mean, that's the kind of things that will bring a product like this forward. Actually, this is from Beverly here, just some of the uses that she has for it. But I have a new little oil story. In fact, I'm going to bring Deb Pazzo on here first. Krista, you can chip in a little bit later as we go along. I know you probably have some more things on some of these announcements, so feel free to pop back in a little bit later on here. But I have Deb Pazzo on the line here. How you doing, Deb?
Oh, I'm doing awesome, Art. How about you?
Great. It was great to see you there. Got a bit of a picture. Somehow our pictures are a little bit of fuzzy at the 20K dinner, but it was always great to see you and feel your caring heart. What was your feelings on Las Vegas?
I don't know how to put it into words. It was so powerful. You know, every event that I've gone to, I think, oh, there can't be anything better than this. This is it. They've reached their limit. And every time I go to another one, they reach another limit. The brilliance of our founders, the commitment, and the foresight. You know, I heard somebody say they want to know where their crystal ball is. Well, I do too.
Yeah, exactly, Deb. And I know that I don't know if anyone you noticed, but in my first email announcing this event, I had promoted Deb to premier. So, Deb, you've got to get your roller skates on, so I don't look like a silly person for calling you a premier.
Well, Art, once it's written, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to write it down, right, Deb?
You know, Deb, anything else you wanted to add before I bring on the slide about the minerals?
Well, you mentioned about the pericarp oil.
Yes.
I've been putting it on my knees. As everybody that knows me knows, I have terrible knees. I will eventually need replacements. But I've been using the Glimpse on my knees since I got it. But I've been adding the pericarp oil to the cream. It's amazing the added relief that I'm getting.
Okay, yeah, because I know that the juice helped, but you still had problems. You were applying the regular Glimpse products, and now what you're saying is you're adding the oil to it, right?
Exactly.
Well, you know what, Deb, you kind of inspired me because I've had a wrist that gets wonky, and this is a brand new story just this morning, and I decided yesterday that I was going to do some push-ups, which I like to do after my little morning routine here in the bathroom, and I could not do one push-up. My left wrist was so sore, and I was inspired by you applying Glimpse, and I thought, okay, I'm going to put some oil on that puppy. And so I put about 3 drops of oil, rubbed it into the joint right where it was sore, and this morning as I went through that same routine, I thought, gosh, my wrist feels great. I'm going to put some more oil on it and see if I can do some push-ups. And sure enough, I could do, I did about 12 push-ups or so without any pain in that wrist. So it's amazing what it can do.
It is incredible. Like Terry said, it's very powerful. Even the Glimpse art, just a very short story. On the way home from Las Vegas, we bumped into 3 women whose feet were just burning from walking 18 miles, doing all the casinos. We waited in line at the airport, and I said, if you can find me on the other side when we get through registration, I have some cream for you to try. And we did find them. We put some of the Glimpse cream on their feet, and they couldn't believe the instant relief from the burning.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Wow.
These people had never known. Well, one of them actually, her nephew, has been doing Zango for a few years, and she didn't really look at it. Let me tell you, she's a little bit more interested now.
Well, that's fantastic. And, this is a look at the new mineral product. Now, this is a product that is going to be available in the summer, sometime in the summer. That's what it says on the screen, in fact, summer 2009. And, Terry, why don't you give a little background, and then maybe Deb would like to fill in on what she's excited about it.
Well, we were very excited about this product. Beverly and her team has been working really hard since Glimpse has come out to get this mineral to market. And the reason is because you cannot apply Glimpse on your face, open up your cells, and then put your old toxins back on as your cover-ups and your other, chemical contaminated stuff that is actually then now going back into your cells. And so we're really excited about having these minerals to be able to apply on our face. And I know, Deb, you stayed at that booth the longest, and so you got maybe a little bit more information. I can't believe how soft it is on the skin. I've never felt anything quite like this. The 4 colors that you see there, we got little samples of all 4 colors. And I don't know how many you got, Deb. I got 4, and I think Krista got 4, because as we got more coupons, as we bought other stuff like oil or whatever, we got another coupon to get another sample. And so what did you learn about this, Deb?
Oh, Terry, it's amazing. You know me, so I'm kind of the natural girl. The only makeup I put on my face is eye makeup. I just didn't like the heaviness. I didn't like the feeling of anything else on my face. As you said, I spent an awful lot of time at this mineral treatment booth, and I was amazed at the difference. They were applying it to the back of people's hands, or the front, whatever. whichever that is. And I couldn't believe the difference in the tone, the clarity. It just was beautiful. So I got them to do it online. And again, I'm not a makeup wearer. I can hardly wait for this to come out. I am going to use it, concealing the little dark circles underneath your eye when you haven't slept enough, everything. But I'm saving my samples, Terry. I got 4 as well, and I'm kind of rambling here because I'm so excited about it. I'm taking
well, and Deb, didn't she actually, to make a concealer, she actually mixed it with
yes.
the cream, the moisturizer cream, didn't she?
She
like to put it under your eyes and stuff?
She started with the pericarp.
Okay.
Pericarp oil, for those of us that are fortunate to have some. But other times, she just started with the cream, like you said, Terry. She mixed the cream with the mineral treatment and used it as a concealer.
Yeah, and it worked just dandy.
It worked awesome, but it's also a protector for the UV rays.
Yeah.
Right.
So you start slowly and reapply different layers, and your face is protected. And this is what excited me about it, because I, too, am going to Hawaii.
Yes.
Krista and I wrote in our books a year ago that we would meet at the Elevation Retreat.
Oh, wow.
I thought, yeah, Krista, I'll write it, but it ain't happening. Guess what? You write it, it happens. I'm going to the Elevation Retreat.
Exactly. And Deb, there was one spot left, and you got the last spot, didn't you?
Yes. That was
so very exciting.
Yes. So anybody out there, when this mineral treatment becomes available, I advise you to get it, because I have never felt anything as soothing on my skin other than Glimpse and the pericarp oil.
I agree.
Fantastic. And just before we bring Eva and Yvonne on, Krista, did you have any comments on the oil and the mineral powder so far?
Well, I just love that oil, of course. That feet story, that happened to me in Las Vegas. I didn't have any shoes that were really that comfortable. So I was walking around just killing my feet for the first little while until, of course, I got new shoes. But I had these sores on the tops of my arches, really, really horrible sores right on the bone. And I actually put the oil directly on that, and I couldn't believe right overnight how quickly it healed. So I've kept putting this on my feet, mixed with the lotion or by itself. I've tried it on many, many things. It's just wonderful. And the one observation I made in Las Vegas when we're talking about makeup, I just wanted to say this, is that I noticed for those people that I saw who started their Glimpse in November, and we saw them, they had just started in November, and for those that I saw this time, I noticed that the ladies who weren't wearing makeup had the best results with their Glimpse. And I noticed that especially with Deb, because I know she's a lot like myself. We don't wear makeup.
Right.
But for other people I talked to who you could clearly see they had some sort of a foundation, they didn't seem to be getting the kind of results I think they could be, with something like this. So it's just wonderful we're getting these minerals.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot for that, Krista. I'm not sure if you have to go or not with your girls there, but if you can hang around, you can chip back in a little bit later. So I want to bring on Eva and Yvonne onto the call today. Great 100K leaders from the other side of the mountains here in Washington. Are you guys there?
Yeah, we sure
are. We are.
Hey, Eva, before we get into your feelings and thoughts, you might as well chip in on the oil and the mineral product and then give us your overall view on the event.
Okay. Well, they had what you call the Innovation Lab. It was a special area for innovative products. And so in there we could actually try the mineral powder, and they showed an example. And they did put it on men, by the way. The men who usually like to put it on their hand, we could really notice a difference. So that is just awesome. And, of course, at the Innovation Lab, we also drank different drinks as well that they're testing out, and they asked us for our opinion. And so you can see that there's so many exciting things that this company is going to be developing in the future, but they're really in tune to their distributor, and they want to make sure that whatever they bring on board is absolutely a category creator. And I can stress a category creator. They will be the first to the market also with this mineral product. And I really like it. I've used foundation makeup before, and this is kind of new for me. I never used a powder before because I always felt it was very drying, but this is absolutely not drying, goes on very smooth. And then at the Innovation Lab, we also tested, they had an apparatus that is about the size of a cell phone, and
right.
It's kind of sleek and silver tapered at the end, and it's got sort of an ultrasonic generator, and it has different settings, so you can set it for exfoliations and also for tightening the skin. Ooh. You know, this is a product that will allow all the nutrients from the glimpse to really, really penetrate. And I was amazed they did an example of one woman, what the results of one side of her face or the other. Now, this is something in a stage where they're trying to find out if people really want this, and I'm
yes.
sure that's going to be coming on later on. But, oh, my gosh, that was exciting to see.
Well, I can tell you for sure that the oil, people are wondering when it's going to be available. I know for sure that you'll be able to get it at convention. Whether they'll make it available or not, I think it just depends on the response to the first initial offering of this. And so make your thoughts known to corporate if you want to make this a permanent part of the program. Yes, it has. People are asking what's in it besides the mineral. Yes, it has some of the X3. It's a mineral treatment is the word that they're using rather than a makeup, and it has some of the X3. Is that right, Terry? Some of the X3 mangosteen xanthone complexes in it, I think, everybody, right?
Yes, it is.
And someone else pointed out that you cleanse, tone, serum, moisture, then put your powder on, and then you can hit it with some more toner to sort of set it and stuff like that. So that's some usage tips. Okay, so what was your overall feeling, Eva and Yvonne, about the event, and what did you take away from it?
Well, as far as the overall feeling is concerned, as you know, we have been to every convention and every regional in Vegas since day one, and I can say without any doubt that this was really the greatest experience of all of them, and it was different from all the other events in kind, not only in degree. It seemed to be extremely well organized. Things moved very, very quickly, and there was very little hype or advertising. It was all really solid meat and potatoes information. And on the Sunday event, we have been also at every one of these events. We've been to the day after training, and this one was hands down by far the best. I've never seen any training session or any convention so well organized. I mean, it just went like clockwork, and the presentations were just, the 34 presentations were out of this world. I filled 11 pages in a large notebook, and I'm sure I only got about half of it.
Yeah, and what we were seeing there, and I had talked to John Godsick after the event, and I felt like our whole XGO Pro training retention system launched on that Sunday event, and hundreds of people were signing up for XGO Pro because it's a whole new game now. I mean, it really, they've stepped to the plate and made it tremendous value. I know Chris Peterson has been working on this behind the scenes, and they have basically are now My Mangosteen comes with your XGO Pro system for only $29.95 a month. I mean, talk about value. You get a My Mangosteen website system. You get a weekly training CD every week. You get the XGO Pro starter kit for only a $10 startup fee, and full access to the XGO Pro Media Vault, plus all of the training and mentoring. And this is just the beginning. This is just the launch, in my view, of XGO Pro. So really, you've got to sign up for that. I mean, it's just a no-brainer now. Would you think, Yvonne?
Absolutely, and it's going to be a step function improvement in everybody's business. This is a really powerful tool. You know, we have been part of XGO Pro for the last few months. These CDs that you get regularly every week are really tremendous training
Yeah.
tools. I mean, we can't wait to get to the mailbox, and it seems to me that they're coming more frequently than once a week. Sometimes we get 2 in the same week.
Well, it's because you were away on the weekend, maybe. But I know what it's like.
Yeah,
it's hard to keep up with them sometimes.
Yeah, it really is. By the way, one other thing that I came away. Excuse me. One other thing that I came away from that meeting on the Saturday, as they do at every one of these events. I can't remember which of the founders it was, but somebody asked everybody who had never been to a Zango event before to stand. And usually that's somewhere between 5 and 10% of those present. On Saturday, it was somewhere between, it was hard to make an estimate because it happened so fast, but it looked like somewhere between 25 and 30%.
Yeah, there was a lot of new people that this is their first regional or major event. It was phenomenal, yes.
It was just phenomenal. And this augurs really well for the future of Zango, I think. I mean, to have so many new people when the company is 6 going on 7 years old is really, really great.
Yeah, and so what basically XGO Pro, if you see this picture that I had up there while Yvonne was talking, comes with the My Mangosteen, and you get one of these CDs every week and your website and the training vault, and this is the startup kit. So it's only $10 to join and sign up for that, and then you get into a weekly CD series. And, of course, then John is working on the Super Saturdays. There's Super Saturdays going all around the country. So really there's a lot of, I don't know, it's just starting to come together. And also, Yvonne, I was going to get a picture, but I didn't have time. And maybe anyone else who wants to make some comments on this, but the big, huge announcement on Saturday is that Doug Weed is now joining in with Zango and is going to be a part of the XGO Pro system. And Doug is a world-renowned speaker. He's a presidential advisor. He's built large networks in the past, and I know, and anybody else wants to make a comment, but I know you were kind of impressed with him a couple of times a few years ago when he spoke at convention, Yvonne.
Yeah, in fact, he gave the keynote address on the first 2 Zango conventions, and he is without question the most powerful speaker I have ever listened to. I mean, and the amazing thing was that in an audience on the second one, I think there were about 8,000 people there. For an hour, for the hour that he spoke, everybody sat on the edge of their chair. It was just a captivating, mesmerizing experience, and he's very, very inspirational. Also, John Godzich is one of the most inspiring speakers I've ever heard. He always delivers great information and great advice.
Yeah, my understanding is Doug is actually, why he has not been visible, he's just finishing a non-compete, I believe just over a non-compete year period where he left and severed his ties from his consulting business and another company, and so he'll be joining with us. He'll be at Elevation Retreat for all those that are attending that, and then my understanding is Doug and John are going to go this summer on an 11-city tour. So lots of interest, lots of buzz in the network marketing industry, on message boards and so on. Gosh, is Doug really joining Zango? So that he's that kind of has that kind of credibility. He's also very much involved in charities, and we're going to talk about the meal pack here in a second. But Doug actually was one of the founders of the Mercy Corp originally. He puts on an annual charity dinner in Washington, D.C. that has 2,000 or 3,000 celebrities, presidents attend, and the inside scoop that we were told on the very end of the XGO Pro training is that the Zango Meal Pack program is going to be featured in Washington, D.C. And this is in front of, we're talking about, there's always been a president or past president of the United States attend this event. They're thinking maybe Clinton might come because he hasn't before, or some other past president. And our meal pack program is actually going to be sort of acknowledged and given credibility there. So I'm not sure who wants to chip in on the meal pack, but it really is a phenomenal program. Yes, 6 million children still dying of starvation every year in this world. It's almost hard to believe, isn't it? But that's still happening out there, and the whole meal pack thing was restructured. Who wants to talk about the meal pack?
Well, one of the things, Art, what I'm really excited and thrilled about this company is they really do have a heart, and these owners have such really high integrity, and they have a passion for making a difference. I'm not sure if everyone is aware exactly that every time you buy a bottle or a case of Zango juice, you're helping actually a child around the world. And I know, Art, you sent an email out kind of highlighting some of the things that is going out, some of the charities you're involved with. And one thing I don't think a lot of people are aware of, and this is just a small one, is in India, they have a charity known as Vitamin Angels, and it's a vitamin A program in India providing essential vitamin A that helps children with blindness. And it helped nearly 2 million Indian children in year 2007. That's just one of the many things they're doing. And now with this meal pack where you can really, oh my gosh, you can help a child.
Have I got that thing out there? By providing essential vitamin A to Zango and Vitamin Angels have helped prevent blindness. Yeah, I think that's what in nearly 2 million Indian children. Just vitamin A, for gosh sake.
I know. It's exciting. And what are they doing in Africa and Mexico and Canada and the United States, by the way, and Japan as well. So basically it's global. And I think we're going to be really known for our charitable giving. And isn't that wonderful? And that's kind of like leaving a legacy right there. And this is what I'm so thrilled about this company. They're really moving forward on that. With the meal pack, they made it, one of the things I think that people didn't realize that actually there's a compensation plan in the meal pack itself. So it used to cost $115. They reduced it to $90, but you still receive 100 PV. This is just awesome. And then they have another meal pack that I believe, Art, I can't remember, is it $45 or $50?
Yeah, $45 and 50 PV, so that more people can contribute to this worthy cause.
Absolutely, and then they have a reward program for it as well. That if you go to zango.com, you can read all about it. It's wonderful.
Deb, I know this is close to your heart. I got an email from you earlier this week about your passion for Zango's giving back.
Yeah, I've asked myself, when I'm gone, is anybody going to miss me? Will I have done anything significant? I know my family will miss me, my children, my grandkids. At Christmas time, they're going to miss me around the table. But I needed to know that I had done something to help more. I could never have afforded to touch as many people's lives as I feel I'm touching with Zango. Every bottle of juice that we share, we're changing people's worlds globally. The leaders that are involved in this company, when they were referred to the meal plan at the regional, one of them jumped up and had figured out how many meal packs it would take to end world hunger. Like, that's phenomenal to me. That makes my heart burst.
Did your heart just burst?
Yes.
I know.
I'm sorry.
I know. Well, the thing is that $30 million have already been given to children's charities, and Zango is not a company that just talks it, but they walk it. And as I've said before, the average good corporate, a Fortune 500 company, if they're a good corporate citizen, would give around maybe 0.5% of corporate net profits to a charity, and Zango has committed 7% already. And the thing is that right now, people are giving less to charities than before, because of the economic problems out there. There's less money available for charities, and companies are pulling back. Zango is not pulling back, and the rest of us aren't pulling back. And there's some people out there behind the scenes working on building a business through the meal pack program and working on some positioning. There'll probably be some webinars coming up with that. People get very excited about the meal pack, and yes, you can build a business on it. Terry, did you have anything to add?
Well, I'm just very excited about that because I think, Deb has such a kind heart. I was able to spend extra time with her after the main meeting, and we always have such a great time. And, you know, she really cares about people. And I think anybody that has been drawn to Zango has a caring heart, because that's why we're all here. And I think we always have to remember that.
Yeah, the other thing that was announced there is an extension of the ABC program, which is a way for people to earn extra commissions. You can get more information on Zango.com. I think I've got whoops, no, that's the wrong slide. There's another slide that I was going to show you that talks about the announcements that were made, where it's been extended till the end of June. And it now also includes a free membership or free distributor kit for anybody that you enroll between now and the end of June on a 2-case ADP. Now their membership is free, and you can still qualify for the ABC. There's a whole list of people. I think about 400 people have taken advantage of these extra bonuses already. So great program. One of the new things that's just announced here, and you can get a copy and actually download this off of Zango.com, is the clinical results. And a new clinical study on glimpse has just been released, and there's a new brochure out for it, showing 40% people showed reduction in wrinkles in 4 weeks, 80% reported diminished appearance. There's before and after pictures. Even on your webinar, I think you're going to see the difference in just 4 weeks with this lady. And actually, I'm pretty excited. And Yvonne, I know you're going to chip in on this one here, but I finally had this Vizia complexion analysis report done. I never got the chance to do it at convention. And the most exciting part of the report to me is down here on the wrinkles. This is for my age group. I have 97% better than 97% of the people in my age group as far as my wrinkles go after almost a year on Glimpse. You can see my score here is right at the bottom. And my other scores are very good. I don't have a great texture. I'm not really sure what I could do about that, but you can see that this is the sort of the main line here, and this one is just right off the chart. So that's pretty exciting, for us. And Yvonne, I think you had some pretty interesting scores as well, right?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, you see all those dots that show your individual score.
Yes.
Well, when I went and got my readings done, on the first page they give you your score in percentage, and that percentage is how you compare. The number is the percentage of people of your age that you are better than.
Right.
And those numbers all look good, but there were no dots on the graph. So I went to the technician that was running the thing, and I said, there's something wrong with this readout. There are no dots. So he looked back and forth between the first page and the second page. He said, I can't understand this. He said, your numbers are fantastic, but it doesn't show on the graph. And then after the third look, he said, the problem is you're 6 years older than the graph goes to. So he said, this is really phenomenal. You're scoring in the high 60s to mid 80s against people who are 6 years younger than you.
Yeah, fantastic.
And I've, as you know, I've been using the Glimpse since November.
Yes, yeah, and it's not that long, really. So just think how good you're going to look in about 2 or 3 years, Yvonne. It's a good thing you're married.
20 years younger.
Exactly. I can't wait for November to get it read again.
Yeah, thanks a lot for that, Evan, Yvonne, and you guys can chip in as we go on here. If there's something else that comes up, I'm going to just kind of open it up to general discussion for a few minutes here after some of these other announcements. They also announced a new preferred customer program. Personally, I don't have a lot of problems with getting people to give me their social security numbers when signing up. It's just not an issue for me. I can usually easily, but for some people, they run into people that just don't want to give it up. And there's a way now that you can more or less sign up a customer without buying a distributor kit and without them giving up their number. And they go into your unilevel. You don't get a power bonus on it, which I think is cool, because I don't think ultimately this is your number one choice, is to get customers when you really want to turn them into members. But if they're on ADP, they can join as a customer now, don't have to put up their social, don't have to pay the the $35. So you can get that on Zango.com as well. Okay, here's the other slide I had on the AVC program. If you go to corporate, you'll see it has a running list of all the people that have won this. Of course, Taiwan is absolutely off the charts with this program. I think last I heard, there was over 300 winners of the ABC promotion in Taiwan alone. So it's just a great way to build your business. Here's the other slide on it. You sponsor somebody, help them sponsor 3 people in the first 30 days on 200 PV, and you get a check for $250, including your regular power bonus and then the additional ABC power bonus. So pretty phenomenal program that's really keeping you focused on what you should be doing, anything. So before we get into the next slide here, topic, does anybody have anything that they've listened today that they wanted to add from their Las Vegas experience?
Hey, this is Terry. I just want everyone to know that Eva and Yvonne were there, and Eva had talked about the new little gadget that looks like a cell phone. That's the size of a cell phone, okay? So it's very small, and it's for tightening the skin and taking off the dead cells. I mean, this is the newest, latest machine out there, and it's portable. It's just tiny, like I say, the size of a cell phone. This thing is going to be hot. Most of the people that tried it there, I watched, Eva watched somebody have it done to their face. What they did is they did half the face. This thing is going to be amazing. It's going to be expensive, but I'll tell you what, I don't know a woman out there, or maybe men as well, that would not want something like this. This is just unbelievable. So I'm going to be campaigning for that machine, Eva.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Exactly.
Wow,
when we go to Hawaii, we got to campaign for that machine as soon as possible.
By the way, one of the
cool.
things I would make note of is that Dr. Templeman was talking about all the ongoing research that's happening with Zango product, and I think we have to be aware that Zango is doing their own study, not just the mangosteen fruit, but Zango juice itself. And they are doing human clinical studies now.
Yeah,
and
it was a CRP study, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And, everyone that was on Zango, the CRP level went down. And, of course, CRP tests for inflammation in the arteries. And then they also had them on a different product, and apparently it spiked up. So that's Zango specific.
The interesting thing about that is that all those subjects that were picked all had a body mass index of greater than 30. So they were doing this test on probably the hardest group to bring inflammation down in.
Yeah, and the other thing was
there's one other thing. Excuse me, but there's another thing. There is an ongoing study just started recently at the Mayo Clinic on rheumatism and arthritis. And that's
yeah, they had a quote up there. I wasn't able to get a hold of that quote from a doctor at the Mayo Clinic. People were asking him. I think it was in a magazine. I'm not sure if I think I've got part of that magazine here. Where here it is, right here.
It was in
Martha Stewart magazine.
Yeah.
And it's in this month's issue, Studying the Next Superfood, and it says, but is there science behind the hype? Here, some questions for Bert Bauer, a physician and director of the Complementary and Integrative Medicine Program at the Mayo Clinic. And so he says, what inspired you to study this? A lot of rheumatology patients were giving anecdotal reports. I mean, telling their stories. That's what that means.
Exactly.
And not needing their arthritis drugs. So they started doing some study. And he says, what do you expect to find? There's a lot to be hopeful for. All signs point to mangosteen having positive effects. I'm still cautiously optimistic. But time and again, things that looked really good haven't panned out. He says, but I would, recommend that people try it. So phenomenal.
By the way, I was going to mention that the body mass apparently on these very obese people actually went down. That was another thing that Dr. Templeman mentioned. It wasn't made, not that he's not saying that you're going to lose a lot of weight, but that was an interesting observation.
Yes, and also Chris Peterson had forwarded this out just this couple days ago here from the National Library of Medicine, a couple new studies on the mangosteen regarding inflammation, and the other one that we can't figure out what it means. Somebody will have to tell us what that's talking about there. The words are too long. Okay, anyone else before I finish off the call?
All right, can I just comment on the unity of the
Yes.
training the day after? If I can just, the context for everybody out there, you can imagine walking into a room and having all the leaders in Zango waiting to greet you. They were all in the same room for the day after training, all eager to greet us. That's what Exco Pro is going to give us. All of our leaders are on one page. Instead of saying, well, where should I go for this? Who can I talk to about this? Exco Pro does it all for us, and that's all thanks to John Gossage and the foresight of our founders for bringing him in.
Yeah, it was amazing. They asked us to be there to greet everybody as they came in. It was like a wedding procession. And you know what John told us is it's not about you as talking about us leaders. It's about what you can do to inspire and uplift other people. And so it was an incredible experience for me and Terry, I'm sure, to be shaking the hands of everybody that was walking in that room until it got to the point where we had to abandon it because there was too many people coming in. But it was phenomenal. It was just to set up the whole energy of the day. I thought that was just awesome too. Having these 6 minutes, by the way, that's going to be on the Exco Pro site. Each one had a subject line that he had to talk about, and I thought that was very brilliant. So everyone brought something different to the table. But in general, it was talking about caring for other people and getting out of yourself and taking time to find out of other people when you're building your business, find out about their goals and their dreams. Right. And one person made a statement that build relationship, don't build downline. People are builders, not building blocks. I thought that was powerful. So that is recorded. Will be available through Exco Pro that whole day. It's going to be phenomenal. So I'd like to talk to you about this new system for recruiting that can be used as a standalone, but also can be integrated into everything else you're doing. It's put together by Anna Mann. You've seen her. She's on the front cover of Go Magazine this month. I've had her and her husband, John David Mann, who's kind of a famous author, on our calls before. And she's put together something that is very, very powerful, a 3-step system called Invite, Present, and Follow-Up. And basically what it is that her and her team, perhaps Eric Walsh and myself might be helping out a little bit on this, but she has a whole webinar schedule that are presentations, very powerful presentations that you can just take people to. And so you can register here. Every meeting or webinar has a different link on it. So you could copy and paste these links, send them out to people, and basically they're running on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday morning. And so this is a very powerful little system, and she's basically, by using the 3 parts of that system, inviting people to the webinar, someone else does the presentation, and then following up. And by following up after the webinar with you calling your prospect that you've registered and calling them after the webinar and then doing your 3-way call after the webinar, they've signed up as many as 17 or 18 people on an evening after the webinar, just in their team alone. So it's a very powerful system, but it also can be used as another touch point or exposure point for everything else that you're doing. So let's say that you've got a juice party coming up with somebody and they come over to learn more about the juice. Now you can say, hey, listen, gosh, why don't you get on this webinar and learn more about it? Or what are you doing on Tuesday night? We've got a webinar coming up. I really want you to meet this lady that's going to be presenting, or this whoever, and we'll have a schedule eventually, so that you can now use it as a touch point. There's always great to have another place to bring people to. So they're very, very powerful presentations. My suggestion would be to register for the next one on Tuesday night. Go through it yourself, see if it's something that you like, that you would like to work with, and then you can start inviting some of your people to it. So far, it's been very, very successful. It's kind of created a buzz. The presentation is very well done, and so that's coming up next week. So that's kind of a new little recruiting system that she's put together that's online, especially for those of us that really don't get out and don't have local meetings that much. This is another meeting that's happening every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I know, Krista, I don't know if you're still there, but your goal, I know you told me next week, is to have a new prospect on every single one of these webinars.
Yes, I'm still here. I'm really excited about this because I think it's going to give the candidate the information that they may not be able to get just through ourselves or the website. And so, yeah, that's my goal is with each one I'm going to invite them and make sure I got people on these every week.
Yeah, so here's the thing about it, and I've said this before, is the Internet is a powerful medium, but if you just send people to your website, it's hard to hold their attention. It's hard to know exactly where is it that they are going on there. There's a click happiness about us on the Internet, and it's hard to get people's time and attention. And that's why CDs are such a powerful tool that if you can get somebody to listen to a CD while they're driving to work or something like that, you have their captive audience. You have their attention. And once you have their attention, then you can deliver the information in a very powerful form. So by having a live event, these are not recorded, by having a live event, it's an impending event that you can build to, that whereas you can get them in front of this information for, it's about a 30-minute presentation, and then usually about a guest will come on for another 10 minutes or so. So it tends to be all over in about 40 minutes. If you can get somebody to commit to giving you that much time to present this so they can look at it all while there's no other distractions going on, and then follow up with them after, answer their questions, introduce them to your upline, it's a very powerful system that we'll be developing and working with and taking up to the next level. So I'm really excited about this added thing. We also, next week, you know what we've decided, Eric and I are working together on a presentation, and he's kind of running with this, a Zango product training webinar. We were inspired by Estella's talk on Andy Willoughby about how every month she has product training. They don't talk that much about product training at their meetings because once a month or so, they cover the juice so that people are totally locked in on it with the science and some testimonials and, and some how to take it. And so Eric is going to be hosting a product training webinar next Saturday where it'll be recorded, and it'll be like and it'll change, but it'll be like the place that you need to take people to once you've enrolled them to get them locked in on the juice and the science and how to take it and the stories and all of this kind of stuff. So really excited about that. Also, we have Chris and Renee Peterson coming to Washington next Saturday night, next Thursday, the 14th of May. We only have 100 seats for this event, so make sure you contact yvonne.sard@gmail.com and pre-register for this event that is coming up with Chris and Renee, $1 Million Team Club earner. And also, I don't even have a flyer on it yet, but on the 16th of Saturday, the May 16th, we're going out, or I am, Terry's not coming, but I'm going to be in Wisconsin in the Appleton area with Eric Welsh doing a Super Saturday. They've invited me out and managed to get me out of the house for that. So that's May 16th. I believe it's listed in Exco Pro calendar and my Mangosteen calendar. I didn't see it on Zango.com. So I think that's just about it. Let's see. For those of you who didn't see this before, we're getting a lot of publicity. This is a really cool magazine, a men's health magazine. They've got us on there, Zango Juice with orange juice and all of this kind of stuff. Anything else you wanted to add, Terry, before we finish the call?
No, I think we're good to go. It was a wonderful, wonderful weekend. We got to see our leaders. We got to spend time with them. We got to spend time with new people. That's what it's all about, you guys. It's about getting new people on these great products. And remember, it's about changing people's lives, and it's about dreaming the dream of a new dream that you're able to experience, like Deb Pazzo and Krista being able to go to Hawaii. And so we must hold on to our dreams, make your list of your dreams, and put your first step forward. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Terry. And also, just guys, you've really got to get into the meetings and events at Zango.com. Look at the corporate events, but also there's a huge lineup of distributor meetings all around the country. This is another access point, another exposure point for your prospects that you're trying to get them to see the vision. Be vigilant and looking to see who can I get out to these massive event schedule here locally. So anything else anyone wants to add before we close the call out?
I'd just like to thank you.
No, just thank you for your leadership, Art and Terry. You guys are wonderful, and we really enjoyed our time together down in Vegas. It's a time for everyone to kind of meet and greet and get to know each other, and we know that we're with a wonderful company and with wonderful leaders.
Yes, and speaking of which, they're taking registration now for the convention and the hotels. So that's the key right now, is get your hotel booked for convention, because the ones close by always get booked up, and so that they're already listed on Zango.com. You won't want to miss convention. I can tell you there's some things behind the scenes that they're working on that could make this convention the talk of the entire industry. Also, yes, I can tell you that Zango is always, looking at new categories of products, and there's things they're working on behind the scenes. They've allowed us to let everyone know that, yes, we did attend a meeting about a new product category, a special meeting for the Millionaire Club. We can say that much.
Disclosure.
And it's something that may be coming this summer, but we're under non-disclosure and can't say a whole lot about it. But so far, what we can say is it looks extremely exciting. So really fantastic. Once again, thank you all. Thanks, Krista, and thanks, Deb Pazzo, for your leadership, and Evan, Yvonne, Terry, thank you all for coming on the webinar. Let's open up the line so that we can thank our guests, and let's see you on some of those webinars next week. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.